Donald Trump was interviewed by the religious right group Moms for America. The interview went completely and horribly wrong. This is my absolute favorite moment from the interview. Trump is asked about Barron, his son, and just oozing love for his son, Trump says Barron's doing a very good job. It's like, you know, especially as a parent now, and most of my friends being parents, the idea that this is what it looks like when a parent loves their kid is just so damn funny. Look at this.
He's a good tall guy too, very tall.
How tall is he now?
I'd say 6'8".
Oh my goodness.
So he's up there, right?
Yeah.
But he's a great young man, and he's a very good student. And I think he's doing a good job, Barron. I think he's doing a very good job.
He said.
Yep. He has some of the best approval polls of anybody. The fake news media won't tell you that, but Barron's height is off the charts, and America just loves him. Even, you know, I went to him the other day. I said, "Sir, your numbers are incredible," and he cried, and it was just a beautiful thing. What a bizarre way to talk about one of your kids. I think he's doing a very good job, and this led to more questions about Trump's views on drugs and is he keeping Barron off of drugs? And it's all a bizarre blend of emotional disconnectedness connected to pandering, trying to pander to a group of people that probably has no business supporting Trump anyway.
17 now, Barron, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at about 4 years old, there's that CNN interview with him, and it was the cutest thing ever because you said to him, listen, no drugs, right?
Right.
No alcohol, no cigarettes, straight A's, no tattoos. Are those words the advice that you're still sharing with your grandchildren now?
What a great interview.
Well, I do. And the tattoos, I think, are in a little different category. You know, you have people with personal preference, that's their
Right.
preference. But no drugs and no cigarettes. And it's just, in the old days, I had a brother who was a fantastic guy. He'd look at me and say, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. But actually, the drugs was much later, really, because if you look at drugs today, it's like today so much is drugs,
right.
less
Right.
is alcohol.
So much today is drugs.
Cigarettes I always add in. It's not a positive thing.
Right.
And if they can avoid it, that's a great thing. But I would tell my kids before they'd see them every day, I'd say no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes. And
Yeah, so important.
Ivanka would say sometimes, Dad, I know what you're going to say, Dad. Please don't say it.
Right.
And I think it had an impact.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at your kids. They're stellar,
You know,
amazing.
when you have one of your children or your children on drugs, it just puts them at such a disadvantage.
Right.
It's you got to keep them away, and it's much easier to keep them away. Once they get hooked, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
But when you preach to them before they
Right.
get addicted,
Right.
because that's what it is. It's an unbelievable chemical addiction and mental.
Now, by the way, I actually do understand Trump's obsession with this. This is maybe the most human you'll ever see Trump. His brother, I believe, died of alcoholism. And so, like, this may be the most honest you will ever see Trump. Ever.
addiction and everything else, it's just so much easier. If they don't start, it's so much easier.
Right, that's it. And you're doing such a great job, and you always have concerned with the fentanyl and the drugs coming across the border. Thank you for what you've done
Thank you, sir. Please.
to make our country great, and unfortunately now it's all being reversed.
Now it's been reversed at a level that nobody's ever seen. People are flowing in, drug dealers are flowing in.
Here we go.
I was working on a deal, would have happened very quickly with China. They were not going to make it. They were going to make it part of the death penalty if they make it.
All right. Anyway, so now he goes into his killing drug dealers thing. Very strange interview. You can just tell Trump really loves his son, can't you? One other moment from this, Trump is asked the very tough question, where do you draw your strength from? Where do you draw your faith? And Trump naturally talks about his poll numbers. For some people, it's scripture. For Trump, I guess it's poll numbers where he draws his strength.
How do you do this? Where do you draw your strength from? We're talking about faith.
Yeah.
How do you do this every day? How do you get up and fight for every single one of us.
It's probably the biggest question I get. The second biggest would be, they're not going to be allowed to do it again. Okay, you know what that means. Okay, that's
Right.
number two. But number one is, how do you do it? One of the reasons is that I have the highest poll numbers people have virtually ever seen.
Yeah.
You're beating these people by 60 points, and we're beating Biden by a lot.
There you go. So Trump gets his strength from his poll numbers. You know, I continue to find fascinating the way in which actual religious groups. Now, listen, I'm not a supporter of these right-wing religious groups. I'm not. I think Moms for America and all these groups are all absolutely terrible. The policies they want are a disaster. I think they're all disastrous groups. But what's funny to see is how they figure out a path to supporting a guy that they really have no business supporting. Trump's not actually religious. Trump's not actually against abortion. All of these things have just been fabricated. And it's sort of like where everybody suspends disbelief. Trump pretends to be against abortion and religious. These groups pretend to believe him. And it's all motivated by what? It's that it's all better than a Democrat. That's at the end of the day what this is all about. So Moms for America, where do you get your faith, sir? It's such a strong strength. No one's ever strengthened the way you do. Well, I'm beating Biden by a lot. Understood, sir. Yes, the evangelicals will vote for you. Sad state of affairs. Don't let anybody tell you it's not a cult, because that's exactly what it is. As many of you know, I spend a lot of time working on the show, doing research, preparing for interviews, filming the show. And when I need just a quick and easy snack during a break, I love whipping up instant ramen noodles, low maintenance. But ramen noodles have never been known to be the healthiest thing in the kitchen. Our sponsor, Immi, has changed that. Every pack of Immi ramen noodles has only 6 grams of net carbs, up to 21 grams of protein. That's 3 times more than traditional brands, helps you feel fuller longer, and 18 grams of fiber, which is great for gut health and digestion. The best part is it tastes better than any other instant ramen you've ever had. 6 delicious flavors. These are all vegan. Black garlic chicken, it's vegan. Spicy red miso, spicy beef, vegan. Pork tonkatsu, vegan. Immi is a fun and tasty instant ramen experience like you're used to, with more to offer nutritionally and without all the carbs. Having Immi around will keep you from going for the junk food. Go to immieats.com/Pacman5. Use the code Pacman5 for $5 off. The link is down below.